A few months ago, I shared my thoughts on the, at the time, newest entry into the Jackass franchise, and it's no secret that I wasn't exactly blown away by that movie. But the Jackass franchise has a long-running tradition of recycling unused footage to make a supplemental 0.5 movie, which brings us to Jackass 4.5. So did Jackass 4.5 impress me more than its main series counterpart? Let's talk about it. But if there's one thing to expect with the 0.5 movies, it's behind-the-scenes content with cast member interviews. And man, did Jackass 4.5 deliver on that. Production for Jackass Forever began in March of 2020. And unless you just woke up from a several-year-long coma, you'll remember that March of 2020 wasn't exactly a normal time in human history. Seeing the cast and crew return to filming several months later, being forced to navigate the challenges of a pandemic while also implementing pranks into safety protocols was just incredible. Part of me wishes that these segments were included in Jackass Forever, but that movie was sort of advertised as a distraction from the hardships that the world was facing, so I totally understand why those scenes were cut. And behind the scenes content is one thing, but the 0.5 movies are known for showcasing content that was cut from the main movie, either due to runtime constraints or because the skit or segment just didn't really feel fit for a theatrical release. When it comes to Jackass 4.5, I honestly didn't dislike one skit in the movie, but the weakest ones for me at least were Swing Set Gauntlet and Play Ball. But still, these weren't bottom of the barrel skits, they were just my least favorite of the bunch. And in my review for Jackass Forever, I touched on the fact that there are different types of Jackass fans. Some people love gross out skits, some people like the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Gnarly skits.
Excellent!
And some people love the more simple pranks. I definitely lean more towards simple pranks, but I also definitely love the more out-of-control stunts. And I feel like Jackass 4.5 delivered in that department better than its mainline counterpart. Like, it doesn't really take much to please me. Just seeing Johnny Knoxville sneak up behind Poopies and slap him upside the head was so good. Speaking of Poopies, man, I'm just shocked at how fast this dude has won me over. I'm not into surfing, so I never watched the Red Bull series Who is J.O.B., which sort of springboarded Poopies into the spotlight, so I had no idea what to expect from this guy, but he seems to fully commit to every stunt that is thrown his way, while also having a totally likable personality.
I'm Poopies, and I'll show me. I was a knocker, bro.
If he still hasn't won you over, I recommend checking out his interview with Steve-O, where he shares a lot of stories about his life before Jackass. One of which involves forgetting to set the parking brake on what's called a petty bone, a materials handler that weighs over 20,000 pounds. So yeah, you can only guess how that scenario panned out. But as far as the rest of the cast go, Zach and Jasper have definitely won me over, and Jasper's dad, Darkshark, has absolutely won me over, even with the little amount of screen time that he's had. I'm totally fine with flying on a plane. I actually like the window seat. Looking down at the ground really relaxes me during long flights. But I can't stand open heights where there's nothing standing between me and a fall that would result in my death. So I really felt for Darkshark during that skydiving segment. I really have to give him props for fully facing his fear and just committing to the bit.
How was it?
I almost died.
You did not.
I did.
No, you did not. You've been shot 9 times. That ain't nothing.
But as for the rest of the new cast members, I was really disappointed that Eric Manaka and Rachel Wolfson didn't really get a chance to shine in Jackass 4.5. With that being said, there's an upcoming Jackass series coming to Paramount Plus, so hopefully they're given a bit more screen time. And while we're on the subject of Paramount Plus, I don't know if they're down for it, but I would love to see a Paramount Plus Wildboyz reboot with Steve-O, Pontius, and Wee Man. I'd also love to see a second Bad Grandpa movie, which I know might be a little bit difficult now that Irving Zisman has become such a well-known character, but just look at the Impractical Jokers. I mean, they're extremely recognizable, and they've managed to endure over 10 seasons and almost 200 episodes of TV. So I think another Bad Grandpa movie is totally possible. And I'm actually suggesting these as ideas for Paramount Plus because clearly MTV is just totally watered down in modern times. They're too busy playing marathons of ridiculousness to incorporate anything from Jackass into their programming. And unlike Jackass Forever, Bam Margera wasn't featured in 4.5 at all, not even in the background of any scenes. Fortunately, he seems to be doing well as of right now, but after he sent death threats to Jeff Tremaine, I feel like it would be extremely difficult for him to find a way back into this franchise. And I know I'm going to take some heat for saying this, but a lot of people seem to think that Bam is somehow entitled to the Jackass franchise. Don't get me wrong, the CKY videos were monumental, but the Big Brother magazine videos had basically the exact same format and released years before Bam put out his CKY stuff. But at the same time, Jackass has always been basically a supergroup where CKY and Big Brother came together to form a bigger project. And sure, Rab himself was a camera operator on both Jackass Forever and 4.5, and even made a brief cameo in the credits of Jackass Forever. But without any of the other remaining CKY guys, the tone of these newer movies does feel a little bit strange. But I was genuinely caught off guard by Jackass 4.5. I actually preferred it over Jackass Forever. Even still, I think the best parts of both films make for one hell of a double feature. My favorite skits in Jackass 4.5 were blindfold race, hot shit water skiing, cup test bowling, and as someone who watched Mythbusters on a pretty casual level back in the day, Electric Eel was a lot of fun. But honestly, I'm just happy that this franchise is back, and I'm really hopeful about the upcoming Jackass series. But what did you think about Jackass 4.5? Did you like it more or less than Jackass Forever? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.